Okay, well, all right. Okay, this is the pool. Okay, I'm back. Um, Thokozani, I am back, and oh gosh, I was trying to let me see. I am back. I'm back. I hope I can be heard. I'm trying to use a microphone because I know my voice is very soft, and it seems to be giving me problems. So I'm gonna let it go. Hopefully I will be heard. I don't know, maybe I'll have to use my old phone for my lives. Um Yay, thank you, Tebogo. I can see the comment also. Thank you. So yeah, we are learning. It is learning with Norma after all. It is learning with Norma after all. And that is why we're here for me to, oh, my person is awake. I'm coming. I'm coming. You see, being a mother, those are the perks. Oh, okay. Thokozani, I am back. Hello. Yes, and like I said, I was trying to use a microphone so that I can speak softly so that I don't wake up my baby, but then the microphone is giving me problems. I hope my lighting is also okay. I'm just trying something new, being live on my YouTube channel. Like I said, that there will the topic for me today is just basically to talk about the time that we all wait for, the right time when everything is perfect, when the stars are aligned, when everything has fallen into place and we're ready to come out to do what we're supposed to do. I've been away for a while, 2 years, if not plus 2 years. And in the time that I was away, it's not that I was not doing any content or there wasn't any teachings that came, but I lost myself in trying to find myself or even in trying to fit to the status quo. And when I talk status quo, we look at things like the algorithm. When we are on social media platforms, you are told about the right time to do your live stream, the right time to post your new video, the right time to post new content, how important it is to notify your audience about the live. Like now, I didn't notify anybody, and I lost the why, the how, the who, and the way, the foundation of me as Ugog Noma, the foundation of learning with Noma. One of the biggest things when I had to come on social media that came as a challenge was that I come from a background where you've been taught that as a healer, you don't advertise yourself. That was the one thing, one of the, okay, many things that, but the top of the list thing that I had to navigate around when this platform was introduced to me, and not by anyone, but by Spirit itself. Because I remember around that time, it was around 2017, 2018, and then I saw the likes of Abogogo Moyo and Gogo Dineo on social media, and they were teaching authentically about spirit and Ubuntu or Ubungoma. And I loved that. But for me, I knew that it could not be just about, I'll say, African spirituality. Yes, I am a teacher. I am a teacher. It's okay. No worry about interruptions. I'm a teacher by I'll say by profession, because I'm a nursing educator, and then I'm a teacher by calling. I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm born to educate. Those are my hashtags. Hashtag born to educate. Hashtag born to heal. I am born to heal through educating. So when I came into the platform, I knew that for me it was more than just coming here to talk about African spirituality, but it was about spirituality as a whole. As I have stated before to many people, I have also moved out of saying I am an African spiritual healer, but I believe I am just a healer. And when I say just the healer, don't please look at the just as just. What it means is that I am an indigenous healer and a modern healer, because I'm Gog Noma and I'm Sister Noma in one. The whole understanding of me coming to this platform was for the need to integrate the integration of the integration. I'm just gonna try to see. I want to try something. I want to be on my TikTok just so to see if I can get okay. So the whole aim of me being on social media platform has been to come and talk about growing as a spiritual being, and not limited to I am Sangoma, I'm a prophet, I'm that. Simply just being spiritual in my calling, in my teachings. And there came that ideology of fitting into the algorithm of the platforms that I'm in, where I had to start promising, Monday we'll talk about this, Tuesday we'll talk about this, I'll be live on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And unfortunately, that is not who I am. That is not the people that that is not how the people I work with work. Abantu abadala are about the moment. All those that I work with are about the moment, and when they come, they teach based on what the need identified in this present moment is. Like right now, I've been away for a while, close to 3 years, and in that time I thought I was finding myself, but in actual fact I lost myself. And when I say I lost myself, is because I moved from authenticity, and I tried, like I say, to fit to an algorithm that might have been social media. But coming from an algorithm of religion, I ended up finding myself deep in another algorithm without even noticing that I was trying to fit into a box and I was trying to say follow the status quo. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't allow me to be who I am called to be. I've got so much content in my folders waiting to be edited. Some I've edited, but I still feel it's not good enough. I was running after perfection. And the one thing that I've come to realize is that perfectionism is actually hiding behind fear. The need to be perfect all the time, the need to have it right, the need for waiting for the stars to be aligned, the need to have my words aligned. So all that caused for me to put things away that I could have shared a long time ago, because I was having the fear that it's not good enough. So for me, perfectionism has actually equals fear. It is equals to fear, because you stop or you don't do things, you don't come out here because you feel it's not good enough, you feel it's not ready, it's not perfect enough, the checklist is not met, you've got so many red ticks and they're all crosses, they don't fit into the checklist that's gonna classify it perfect, and then you take it and you shove it away. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to be perfect. If anything, I aim to be here to show my rough edges, share my scars, and to some extent even share the wounds that I am still dealing with at the moment. 2024 reminded me again ukuthi ngempela ukuthwasa akupheli. The awakening does not end. And I guess one of these days we will talk about the topic praying for the journey is as important as praying for the destination. I didn't know that my journey was going to take me where it took me this year. I didn't know that I was going to try to find myself only to lose myself so many times. I didn't know that in me trying to be perfect, it was going to pull me so far away from myself that even looking at myself doing some of the teachings, and please understand, I'm particularly talking about my presence on social media. But what started to happen, as much as I tried to put things in space and saying Motherhood Monday, Tuesday this, Wednesday that, I never showed up for those appointments. I would show up for 1 week, 2 weeks, then gone. Because Spirit was like, you're not going to start, you're not going to start, you're not going to conform us, you're not going to want us to be ready on Monday for Motherhood Monday when we're not ready for Motherhood Monday, and there's someone who needs to hear a message about how do I navigate through my spiritual awakening. So there will never be a right time when you are led by Spirit. The present moment, this moment right here, right now, can only be the right time, because in Spirit, there is no past, there is no future, it's only the present. Everything that you do prepares you for your next present. And that is what Spirit has been teaching me this whole year. And as the month of October comes to an end, this morning I woke up and I was overwhelmed. Around the hours of 3 o'clock, I was outside and I was praying with my baby on my back, because Spirit said, go outside and be reminded there's something that you need to see. And I saw it, and I was reminded that 2014 on this day, it was in Gotokiso, my homecoming from Ephelweni. And in that time, I didn't even know who Mkhuluma Kwelintaba or Gogo Makwelintaba. When I left Ephelweni ukuthi, what is this person coming here to do? I was still navigating even the very understanding of ubungoma, coming from a very Christian background. Yes, ke moprofita ke feletse ke thwasitse indumba ya mai indumba mai practice was opened when I finished my initiation as a prophet, and I functioned and I worked for a couple of, I'll say, years as a prophet. Then I had to come ke tlo thwasa bongoma, and when I came out, it was difficult because, firstly, besides even understanding the gift that I carry, I needed to understand the world that I have just entered. And I needed to be reminded of that. When I put my pen down as a nurse in 2020 and I resigned, I think literally 2 months before COVID hit us and we went into shutdown, I didn't know what world again I was entering into, because after I initiated, I closed that door. I guess I was, again, the fear of I'm not perfect, I don't fit to the bracket. And we will talk about this. There's lots of topics that I will come and we will discuss. One of the things that I found was that we are told about African spirituality, and I'm coming into this world where I am being told how I'm being brought back to my ancestral ways of worship or ways of praise or ways of doing things, the indigenous ways of healing, the indigenous ways of life, how we even connect to source or divinity as African people, and how it has always been about freedom of expression. But hey, then you come and I'm Gognoma and I don't burp always. I mean, there's people who would go, and like, hey, it was call. And I didn't fit in because I wasn't in this box. Then you have to wear your beads to be a sangoma, and I can't. And that then disqualifies me at a certain degree, I guess, to carry even the title of Ubungoma. I don't burp a lot, or I don't burp as loud. I guess I'm still very ladylike in terms of my burping, and that means then something is not okay. One of the other difficult things for me, because I was working when I was Ephelweni, was also uklola with intlolo, uhlahluba ka ditaola. Being a prophet first, and I'm going to use the word prophet loosely in this conversation, just for us to understand, and I will unpack that later in our conversations. Ke ne ke sebedisa hloho, meaning that you would listen to spirit and convey that. So mediumship, what you would now classify as I'm a medium, that's what I used to do. And for me to be enkolweni and speaking fast, I didn't hear myself, I didn't understand myself, and I couldn't do it. And again, disqualified. So there was not, for me, it was not the right time to come out and start practicing, and I had to take time out and I concentrate on my career. And I said, I'm a nurse. I did what you guys wanted me to do. I'm sure you are healed. Thank you. Goodbye. I will come, I will, I don't know, this thing's asking me to claim something. I will come and I will do what I need to do, but please, I will come and I will patha, but please just leave me alone. I'm a nurse. And if there's anybody that needs help in terms of umuti nani, it's okay, I'll help them, but don't expect me to be here all the time. If you can at least give me 5 years to understand who I am in this calling, but allow me also to grow in my profession, then me and you will be okay. And then, like I said, around the times, sound got lost on that one. Oh, sorry, I see this, but which teacher are you? Oh, because I'm Gognoma from Learning with Norma. I'm a teacher, spiritual teacher. I teach about life, my own experiences. Sorry, I'm just answering someone who left a comment here on YouTube. So when I started being introduced to these teachers on social media that were teaching from an authentic space about African spirituality, I started listening to them, because one of the biggest things for me was understanding the African spirituality that I had entered into. Ubungoma, what is it? What is it about? How are you supposed to behave? And all those things. And one of the things is that you then start to learn about umthetho weshoba, which is something that is talked about a lot. As sangoma, this is how you behave, this is what you do, this is not what you do, and all appreciated. But for someone who was getting out of a place that conformed me, religion talking about a certain type of God that allows certain type of things and not other things. Yes, when I left Mina, when I went to Pehlweni, I packed my clothes and everything that was needed, but at the top of my bag, and I'm sure I've not said, this is not the first time I'm saying this, but the top thing on my bag was my Bible, because I needed to know that, oh, Nkulunkulu Bawo, God, Jehovah, you are agreeing for me to enter into this journey. I don't know what this journey is about, but I hope that I am doing the right thing. And the one thing that my grandmother taught me, oh, I love that woman. Wherever she is, I know that, yeah, she's here and she's with me. And at the time, I just knew that, because she died a year before I went Ephelweni, I just remembered that she told me, if I ever get stuck in life about anything and I fail to identify God in my situation, I just need to remember that God is life. And if whatever that I am doing brings life, not only to me, but to others, then definitely God is there. And I am serving God. And that is how I got carried through Ipehlo, to say, if I am going to be giving life, and if I'm giving life through this calling, through this journey, then surely God is with me. And that's how I got through it. But when I got out, now it was a totally different thing. Remember, now you stand on your own, but standing on your own, you still have the teachings from Gagobela. This is how you must behave, this is what you must do. You also look at your mentor, how is she handling her patients, or he's handling his patients, how umuti is used in all those things. And I needed to take a breather, because now I'm looking at everything around my clean Ndumba. Now it's packed. There's muchi, there's mtundu, there's there's amabai. And this is a place that I functioned in, and it was just bulokwe, mufati, cow dung. There was my Bible, a candle, and it lasts there for people to get water in a box of matches that I would sometimes just put, the matches in the water, and it would be my sitting place where I would be sitting, and that was it. And all of a sudden, no, it's not that. It's that and everything else. And on top of that and everything else, there's also this new person that I'm bringing into the space, the new name that I now carry. And I don't even know kahle kahle ukuthi when I talk about Makwelintaba, who am I talking about? All I know is that I can't fight my name, and I never did, because even one of the first visions, or one of the visions that I told my my mentor was a prophet, was a prophet, was about the visit to a certain mountain in the Free State, Maute, and that in itself manifested because I couldn't even go out of Ipetlo without having gone. So it was one of the requirements. I needed to go there and do what I needed to do. And that's when I really, I would say, connected to Umakwelintaba, because I climbed that mountain from the top to the back to the front and everything that I had seen about this mountain that I don't know came to manifest in that journey and in that trip, to the very ritual that I needed to do at the very top of the mountain. And yeah, everything just was actually happening. It was like the dreams were a preview of what was going to happen. And that is the time when I really, I guess, connected to the spirit of Umakwelintaba, the mountain climber, being on the mountain. But coming back now, today, it's my 10 years ago, guys. Today, I'm being prepared to go home. I'm happy because I've been away 6 months into marriage. I had to go Epiphany. I can't wait to go back to my husband. I can't wait to go back to a life that was still somehow in honeymoon phase and was interrupted by Tlosi. And now, in Dumbeni, like I said, the overwhelm when everybody has left and everything is left, and now I've got this kwama that is full of intlolo, and I've got muti that I now need to use on people. But that was not the right time for me to start functioning. And I'm saying this because it is also important for us to remember, especially those that are in this journey, Mtanasekaya. Sometimes we are twasa, but it doesn't necessarily mean after intwaso you're going to work. Sometimes it is the time for you to find yourself. We will talk about the topic of self-initiation, because we need to understand that all of us at one stage or another, we go through that isolated, and I don't want to put the word, and I'll give my reasons when we really unpack that topic of self, because in our cultures it has never, or in spirituality, it can never start with self and end with self. And what I mean is that I'm not talking about in the physical sense of there should be someone next to me and I can't do it alone. But it means that even in me being alone in the physical sense, I am not alone, because ngihamba namadlozi wasekhaya, ngihamba namadlozi angiphethe, ngihamba nemimo. I walk with other spirits and the council that walks with me and guides me. So after Ipehlo now, I can't function in the space where I used to function, where I used to follow people. I mean, there were people that came and I would tell them, you need to go your twasa, go and find a healer who has gone through these processes and has done these things. I'm not that person. And Abanye had to say, I go, mina, it was a little for now, and then I'll wait for you. And yeah, there's a lot that we can unpack. That those are topics again for other days, about what happened to those people in my time away. So the time was not right. I had to go, and for me it was go back to work, study, upgrade yourself as a nurse, learn about the anatomy, the physiology, the Western way of healing, and I'll put it as that, the Western way or the modern way of healing. But in my time, Thokozan, as a nurse, it became very clear that I love teaching and I want to heal. And I'll say, the patient education champion. I was a medication education champion. Anything that had education next to it, I was a champion for it. And I then decided to leave Free State to come to Joburg. And the one reason was that I needed to study and I knew that I was not going to be able to do it back home. So when I got here, 6 months here in Joburg, I enrolled with UNISA to do my nursing management and education. And that's how I became a nursing educator. But then I discovered something else about myself, that as I listened to the teachers who were teaching about African spirituality, I also needed to teach about spirituality. But for me, it was not limited to, I'll say, African spirituality. I needed to teach about spirituality as spirituality. I started learning about the Eastern indigenous ways of healing, the Western indigenous ways of healing, Native American way of healing. Any indigenous way of healing came into my space and I learned about it. And it also made sense to say we are actually one. I'm still in a journey, and I'm gonna try to put, maybe I think, yeah, TikTok video will actually work well. I know people will come and comment. I need to learn the chakras in our native language. But that was one of the first things that came into my space, understanding the body chakras, and the rest is history. Because I understood how in our African ways of healing, we are actually acknowledging what has been acknowledged in each and every culture when it comes to spirituality. Language might be the barrier, and language might be the thing that, we cannot really identify, or we cannot really say this is what, maybe because, again, language wise, we are limited when it comes to our mother tongues or the language that we speak at home. And we find we know something in English, but we can't really say this is what it is in our African languages. And that was, again, one of the struggles when I did anatomy and physiology in Western medicine as a nurse, coming back now as Ugognoma and trying to teach about the anatomy, the physiology in this in the space where I can't really say this word in Sesotho or in Zulu is this, and in medicine, this is what we're talking about. But I am there, I'm learning, I'm coming into a space of understanding. Where I was going was, as I started doing education, I realized that I'm an educator and I heal through educating, because even in Western medicine, it's taken for granted, and it's one of the basic things that we are taught. You need to explain the procedure to the patient, because if a person does not know what you're doing to them, one, they can be closed off and they can be defensive, or you can do whatever that you're doing, but this person will never understand and get better because they don't know what to expect from the actions that you're doing. So even in Dumbeni, those who have been in my space know, from the simple treatment that I'm going to do with you, I will try to explain. Yes, I might not tell you that I'm going to put Mohatolo, I'm going to put Kanyagud, I'm going to put this as Umuti, but you're going to know why we are doing the cleansing that we're doing and what we are hoping to achieve from the cleansing, so that when you go home, you know the expected outcomes from the cleansing that I've done with you. And it all comes back again to the need for informed consent in nursing. So it was necessary for me to pause after I went through my initiation process. And the pausing was saying, go and understand some ethical issues on the other side. And when I came back after I resigned in 2020 and now had to practice as a full-time gogo, that was the time I had to go and I'll put it like this, ngiyoyenza umlando womdawe. And that's when I started then ukufemba kwami. Yes, keparutse mundawo in 2014 when I twasad, but I'll say there were some rituals that were left behind, not intentionally, but because my Kobela gave me what she had, and there was nothing more for her to give me outside of what she knows. And I remember there was a conversation that I had with Baba, and she said to me, when am I calling Taba? You're not done here. When you still have a long way to go. But Baobabua, she used to say, your people speak. And I don't do that here. I know what I'm doing, but I don't do that. So she understood that umdawam being femba, but because it's not something that, she did, that she was practicing, I would say, or that she practices, and said they will take me further. But later for me to understand that even if she did it, it was still not going to be enough, because they wanted for me to do it as Umlando Amandawe, from somebody who knows the culture, knowing that I'm a direct descendant. My maternal grandfather is from Shai Mozambique, and yeah, his mother is a granddaughter to someone who is a direct I'm a direct bloodline of the Ndao nation. So a lot of things were not just about me as Umgoma having this, and we will talk about again the spirits, but having this glory that functions through me of Ukfemba. It needed first to start by me understanding Elami Itlozi and understanding Eyami Velapi before I could even start saying I'm going to heal other people. And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't actually go and get the knowledge that I needed to integrate everything that I had done. So the Profeto Nguni Mundawe, and then now nursing healer. That's why I say I'm a healer. Don't ask me, are you an African healer? I'm just a healer. That's me. I'm here to heal. Every aspect of my life is about healing, but how do I heal? Through educating. So when COVID hit, I was just finishing. I remember lockdown was, I think, on Wednesday. It was March, and the weekend I had just been brought home from finishing my processes yeshindawe in terms of ukfemba. And now amagono nomtundu, amazingo, everything was just coming together. And now there was time for isolation, alone in the house, for the time of the lockdown in 2020. There was so much interrogation, so much conversations. A lot happened between me and my ancestors. And that was the time when I actually understood who I was and what I was called for. One of the things that was introduced to me, like I said, was the social media, the teachers on social media, and even YouTube, and how to start a YouTube channel. I started investigating and researching. And at that time, I was also busy with my public health. This is the year when I was busy with my public health. So research was also at the core of what I am studying. And now I'm also doing research even in spirit as much as I'm studying it. And that's when I knew that it had to be learning with Norma. This is not a name that I thought of. It's a name that was chosen and given by Tlosi. Learning with Norma, because you're not going out there. Okay, one thing, I'm coming from a background where you are taught, we come from Batawaholo. We went through this process with I'll say people who still hold the ethics of yesterday, the ethics of our. And one thing is that how more profit you don't advertise yourself. And now I'm being shown YouTube, I'm being shown social media, and I'm like, oh, is this not then advertising myself? But Tlosi had to say, it's going to be learning with Norma, because you're not going out there only to teach, but you are going out there to also learn. So when I come here, I'm here to share my story, to share my experiences. I'm not here to come with perfection. I'm not here to show you that I'm perfect. I'm actually here to expose my edges, to show you my scars. Hey, to even share the wounds that are still bleeding, that I'm still dealing with, in the hope that I will encourage you to share your story, in the hope that I will encourage you to know that you're not alone. It's not taboo what you're going through. If anything, the spiritual awakening is about losing yourself and finding yourself over and over and over again. This year I thought I was finding myself. I thought I was, building, learning with Norma, only to find that I was actually losing myself. I came on this platform to be nothing but authentic. And I got lost in trying to be perfect. And sitting here today, I have found out that the need for perfectionism, and when I talk about perfect on social media, I'm talking about feeding into the algorithm, as I said earlier. Being told for your YouTube channel to grow, you need to post videos every second day, or every Tuesday. People need to know that. So was on TikTok, Basasana, for the gifting. People need to know every Tuesday you'll be putting out a video. You need to tell your audience that you're going to be live on a certain day. You need to start, yes, it is a learner-centered classroom. That one, it's there. If you go to my website, it's one of the things that I put. It is learner-centered because I do take into consideration the topics that you guys bring forth, and I talk about those things also. But authenticity means that I can only share from a space of experience and readiness of my spiritual guides, not me as a person, not trying to sit down and write a script. And that is what I'm talking about when I say, in the process of me thinking I'm finding myself and I'm building, learning with Norma, I ended up losing myself. Because now I was trying so hard to have Monday, it's going to be Motherhood Monday, Friday will be this, Tuesday will be that. I ended up not even showing up for those appointments because that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to fall again into another algorithm. I got that when I was in religion, and I was a Scotch Christian, and I went to church, and every Sunday you had to be there, and I would read the Bible verses every day because I needed to read the Bible verses every day. That's what I needed to do religiously, but I didn't even understand why I was reading them every day, to the extent that I'm understanding now why I'm holding the spiritual book. And we'll talk about the spiritual books, because now I'm not even just reading the Bible, but I'm reading even the spiritual books that are written by individuals in our lifetime. I'm reading the spiritual books from other religions, your Torah, all of them, you name them. I'm just trying to grow as a spiritual being. And there's so many similarities because at the end of the day, they have their foundation in spirit. So this year, I went into hiding, or maybe this past 3 years, I was in hiding, and the hiding was the need for perfectionism. And I'm only finding out now of late, I'll say probably in this month, because this month is very significant to me. The beginning of the month, that was the time when I did my ceremony for Istunya many years ago, I think 15, 16 years ago, and not even 15, 16 years, 2009, 2010, yeah, 2010. That's when the beginning, the first week of October became my Thanksgiving week in terms of Istunya, when I started working as a prophet. So 4 years later in 2014, Glossy is doing miracles. The first week I go to the mountain, and then becomes the last week becomes the week, like I say, today, the 1st of October for me is Tunya. And I'm talking is Tunya in terms of profit. And then the last day of the month became the day when I went Ekai from Epeth, and it was my homecoming. So in this month, it's always one of those months where I really need to do introspection and find myself. And every year it's a new beginning. I'm even realizing again this year for the first time that, hey, it is actually a new year. There's right now in my area, they're shooting, crackers. It's crackers named Labore, because it's Diwali. They are celebrating the new year most. So yeah, it's a new year for me today, and I had to look at those things. But most importantly, in this month, I did the introspection, and I found that, yay, I thought I was finding myself, I was losing myself. I was hiding behind perfectionism, and I stopped coming and teaching and sharing and being the godmama that everybody, sort of like, people that come to me came to me because of the authenticity in the teachings. And I started wanting to fit into the algorithms, and I never showed up for those appointments. But I went into hiding because I only come to realize now that the need for perfectionism is actually fear. You are living in fear. You hide behind, I'm not ready, it's not good enough, it's not perfect enough, I didn't say the right words. I kept trying to edit, and the more I edited, the more I wanted to edit. And then I would look at the time and I'd be like, no, I can't do a live at 2 o'clock during the day. I'm a mother now. So even today, I don't know when I'll be able to come back and do a live at this time. Most of the time, most of my days at this time, I'm sleeping next to my child, because I'll try to make him go to bed and I'll end up sleeping with him, and I'm going to wake up at 11. And when I wake up at 11, I'm just like, no, can I please just continue sleeping? But today was one of those good days. He came back very tired from school. After bath time, 8 o'clock, lights out. And that's why I'm here talking to you. So there will never be a right time. The right time is now, is the present. With your scars, words not aligned, you not feeling perfect to do it. Walk in your purpose, fulfill your gift, remember the why, the how you are here in the first place. Remember your reason and not the reason out there. Some of you are sitting on books that are going to heal us. Hey, and me and books. I don't know how many people have said Gogo. Those who have sat with me, and I've shared my diaries, like I'm doing today. I'm sharing some of my diaries, my pages, the pages from my diaries with you guys. And they've said, Gogo, why are you not writing a book? And I've said, it's not the right time. But I'm coming to understand that there will never be a right time. The right time is now. And if Spirit is bringing it in my space, then it means it is the right time. I need to take the opportunity. The only thing that Spirit is asking of me is to be authentic. And that is something that I've been an advocate of since I've been here. To be my authentic self. To come and show you that I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to say you should be perfect. To tell you that I had to go to 3 mentors, 3 Seprofito Ngunika Parola, and I still had to do Mzawaka, and I am still growing even today. Okay, so there's 4 mentors, because Abantu Abadala, they also gave me Igedla that teaches me about medicine. And these last 2, so the first 2, it wasn't about me dreaming of them, but it was more about Spirit leading me to their houses. And I didn't see them as physical beings, but I saw the place that I needed to go to. And the other 2, the Mkulu Mdawe, it was more like I've been dreaming about this person, but only when I met this person did it make sense that this was the person that I was dreaming about and not the person that I thought I was dreaming about. Then umkhulu, who's helping me in terms of ngizothi igedla le abantu abadala banginike lona, it was literally dreaming about him, knowing his name, and knowing exactly what kind of a person am I going to meet when I go where I needed to meet him. And that is how closely will work. When the time is right, they'll provide. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Perfectionism is hiding behind fear. Strive to be your authentic self. Know that the right time is now. The right time is when you feel in your core that unsettledness, that uncertainty, that need for you to stand up. Postola o tla utlwa ke re le tla ntshwarela ha ke ikemise ke tsamaya le lenyelo ile ka ha le ntumelle hore ke dule fatshe. That's what I'm talking about. That thing that wakes you up at night. You know, I used to wake up at night and I'd write a blog, and then in the morning I'd wake up and read it, and then I shoved it in my drafts because it was not ready. The English is not perfect. And today I'm saying to you, please, when you visit my blog page, probably tomorrow when I do a blog to attach this video, for those that visit my website before they come to my social media platforms, so that they can find this video. If you find that I made a mistake, don't even mind it. You know, if you find that there's grammar error, don't mind. Just read it to understand what message I was trying to bring across. I'm not here to be perfect. I'm simply here to be authentic. I'm here to walk in my purpose. I'm here to fulfill the gift. I'm here to carry it out. I'm simply a healer, and I am a Badimo child. I'm my ancestors' child forever. I'm a spiritualist here, growing, meaning that I'm forever learning every day. What I'm saying today, tomorrow might be a different thing that I'm saying because I would have learned something new. I am born to heal, and I'm born to heal through educating. I am here saying learning with Norma because you are here to learn with me as much as I am here to learn from you. In my practice, the main thing is the integration of indigenous ways of healing and modern ways of healing, because in this life that we live in, there is room and space for that. There's so much that comes when you are being authentic to self. Just 2 weeks ago, I was invited to the offices of the Traditional Health Organization, the THO, and I was there to speak about mental awareness. And yes, maybe the invitation came for Sister Norma to come and talk about mental awareness because I am a psychiatric nurse. But when I got there and I saw the audience, and there was, you know, the audience of Abokobela, Amatwasa, because it was a workshop, Spirit took over, and I talked for the first time in my life about mental health awareness in the context of African spirituality, and specifically in the context of Ubungoma, Iphehlo, Ukobela, Netwasa. Because when you walk in the gift, when you walk in your purpose, you don't even need to prepare. And yes, you might feel your message is not polished, but for those that are receiving it, it will be perfect for their ears and perfect for their journey. So, Bana ba Badimo, my royalnesses, I'm here to say to you, please put your hands together, shayani isandla phezu kwesinye, because today I want you to welcome Gognoma back. In the process of trying to find myself, I lost myself. And I was waiting for the right time until I realized that I had lost so much time not walking in my authentic self. And today I'm simply here to say, I'm not perfect. I never tried to come, or I never in any of the time that I've been here wished to be perfect. I'm only here to show you my imperfections so that you can also in your journey understand that it's okay to fall. In our falls, we find ourselves. Very soon I'll be talking about one of the topics that have been very close to my heart. How we pray for the destination and not for the journey. So I'll be talking about the importance of praying for both the journey and the destination. I took Thokozan. There was a period when I really felt I was depressed because I'm a nurse, and like I said, I'm a psychiatric nurse. So you look at the DSM-4 for major depressive disorder, and I was like, I'm right here. But right now, sitting here, I understand that it was part of the journey. It was part of the journey. All I know is that I am born to educate, or all I knew at the time, I'm born to heal through educating. But it was necessary for me to go through what I went through in these 3 years so that I could come today, sit here on this day when I'm celebrating 10 years as Sangoma, on this month when I'm celebrating 15 plus years. I don't know, 15 years, 2009. Yeah, because it was towards the end of 2008 when I entered Kolifehlong Laba Profeta. In 2009, that's when then the teachings and everything started. So 15 years as a healer in the calling. And I'm sitting here today saying to you, please welcome Gognoma, the teacher who is going to heal through teaching, the one that's going to come to be authentic, the one that's going to come not to walk in front of you, but to walk beside you, to hold your hand, and sometimes even walk behind you. I'm not here to influence. I'm not here to serve everyone. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having 3 people on my life. I love that. Hey guys, when the one thing that made me not to show up for some of the pre-appointments of my lives was the fact that I would come and then there'd be 70 people on my life. I'm an energy worker. I would be sweating. I wouldn't know. I would touch this and leave that because I would be feeling the energy, the frustrations, and for me, this is happiness because I know that those who are meant to be here are here to hear the message that is meant for them right now, in this moment, in this hour. And those that are meant to hear this message tomorrow, they will watch the video because it's going to be uploaded on YouTube. Those that are meant to hear this message in 3 years' time, they are going to hear it in 3 years' time because it will still be there uploaded for them in 3 years' time. But in this moment, at this time, I don't believe that 100 people should be hearing this message all at the same time. I'm so happy and glad. This is me. This is why I'm here. This is what keeps me alive. This is what's going to keep me coming back to come and teach. So, yeah, Bana Baba Jimu, you're never going to see me putting a notification to say I'm going to be live tonight. You just need to keep your eyes and ears open. And again, if I was live and you were not there, never feel bad. The message was probably not, for you at that time when I was doing it live. You can always come to the YouTube channel and watch it at a later stage. Royals, I am here to share myself with you in the most authentic way ever. And I'm hoping that in me doing that, I'll be able to help you navigate through your own journey. There will be a members only side because I do want to share myself at a very deep level in terms of my diaries and my story. As I said, 2009, and the journey didn't start in 2009. Already when my grandfather passed in 2012, that's when things became very clear, not just, at a surface level when everybody was saying this child is special. You know how they would say, yeah, and we will discuss that. But when my grandfather passed, that's when really the gift started now manifesting, and it showed. And I'll say, things started manifesting at a physical level. But honestly, from the ages of 7, when my mom and my dad separated, around that age, there was a lot of things that I already had seen. And you would be told as a child you can't remember things from when you were 3 years old. But for me, there's some vivid memories, even around my mother's and father's wedding, that are so clear to me. And it's like I'm as big Norma behind the small Norma, and I'm looking at what she's looking at. I'm experiencing what she's experiencing. So there's a lot of things that I want to share. But I do feel that some of those things also I'm not just going to share on a TikTok live or on just a YouTube live. I need to share them in a space of people that are willing to invest in the journey itself. So I'll be doing a members only site very soon. It will probably be, I think, 100 rand, 99 rand per month. But I'm also hoping to get other mkulus and other gogos that I can interview, people that I've been inspired by at different areas of my spiritual journey. We'll talk about Christianity, we'll talk about all types of religion, religious beliefs. We'll also talk about spirituality. We'll talk about indigenous ways of healing from all walks of life. At the moment, in Dumbeni, I'm currently using the Bible, water, fire. In terms of matches, candles, I'm using card reading, I'm using mirror, and yes, not all of them all at once. There'll be someone who's a shine and they would want card reading also there. But I'm saying I am not in a box. And it's not that I'm forcing things. I'm allowing things to come when they come, and I'm functioning with them as they come in my space. But because I'm so open now as a spiritual being, that's why I'm saying I have even moved away from calling myself just a sangoma or a prophet. I'm a healer. How I'm going to heal you depends entirely on how your spirit guide want me to come into your space and heal you. And that is me being authentic. I'm doing counseling sessions because, again, integration of the modern and the indigenous ways of healing. And the more I'm actually doing these things, the more I'm finding out that I've always said it. We are the original medicine, or the indigenous ways of healing are the original medicine, and Western is just a modified of the original. So they are the alternative medicine, because I'm also starting to find out how important holistic healing was in African spirituality, even the very counseling itself. Before umuntu angena ephehlweni, there needed to be a certain counseling. Before people got into marriage, there needed to be certain counseling. Even when you are married, there needed to be a time when you would go and review that we still have, the same understanding, we're still on the same page. So yeah, bana ba badimo, today I was simply here to say I've waited for the right time for almost 3 years, and I didn't find it. I'm sitting here today and I don't even feel like it's the right time, but I'm here, I'm doing it. I'm speaking, I'm here, I'm teaching. 3 years waiting for the right time. And I continue to wait for it. But I'm choosing to move out of this mountain, behind this mountain of perfection, behind this mountain of fitting into the status quo. And I'm choosing to be my authentic self. A lot of you, when you visit my YouTube channel, probably you will see a lot of my earlier videos, it was Facebook lives and TikTok lives. So I would just come and I would talk, and then I would upload on YouTube, and that's what I'm going back to. Forget everything else. That's what I'm going back to. Those who follow on TikTok, they know TikTok is about dream interpretation. Put your dreams there and Lozi will come and interpret. I don't really, if my hair is combed, if I've got a good hairstyle, if I'm, listen, all that, I'm putting everything in the space and sending it back to sender. I'm done. Monday this, Tuesday that, I'm done. When you see it is the right time, I'm putting it out there. Yes, I still have to share my diaries from my pregnancy journey as Sister Norma, and also, finding out that honestly, my midwife teacher, fourth year, yes, fourth year, yeah, fourth year, she used to say midwifery is a closed book. No pregnancy is the same, not even the same woman can experience two pregnancies the same way. And I never understood it because, well, I'd never been pregnant. But now, as a midwife, there's certain things that I used to say to the pregnant women, and I'm like, yo, that's why these women were acting the way they were acting. Because honestly, one of the things that I'm gonna say now, even as I finish the videos, that guys, we've got the saying that you are pregnant, you're not sick. I'm sick. Believe me, I'm forming a human being, a whole human being, and sick defined is that you are not in your full health, you are not yourself, you are not functioning. Because when we define health, we're saying it's not a state, it's not the absence of illness, but it's when you're not balanced, you're at disease. And hey, waking up one in sickness, and then I'm carrying 3 kg, my waist, my feet are swollen, I am sick. And we need to move away from such things, and we need to start talking about those kind of topics. Everybody tells you about having a baby, nobody discusses the toddler stage. I've got a toddler right now. I love him, but sometimes I want to borrow him to somebody. And we need to start. Nobody talks about the 2 o'clock hour when your child is hot and you're crying with them because you don't know what to do. And when the sun comes up and everybody comes to see them, they're smiling and they're happy and they're this cute little baby. Well behaved, everything okay, everything perfect. We need to start going to the real issues and talking about the reality of things that we are facing. And that is why I'm here. That is why I've been called to be in this space, to hold space, but to hold space in truth and in authentic teachings. I hope that when I come back next time, I will see you. Today, I was just simply here to say there will never be a right time. And I'm stopping. I'm no longer waiting for the right time. If I'm done in Dumbeni at 2 o'clock and I've got time to do a live before I fetch my child from school, I'll do that. If I wake up at 12 o'clock and, I can't go back to sleep like yesterday, I will come and do a live and talk to my people. Even if it's 1 or 2, hey, we're going to have a conversation. Others can join later. I'm Gognoma, guys. Hashtag Badimo Child. Hashtag Spiritualist Growing. Hashtag Born to Educate. Hashtag Born to Heal. The royalty of our Kebula. A healer all round. I'm simply here to share my story, hoping to encourage you to continue walking in your own journey, knowing that you're not alone, you don't have to be perfect. I'm simply here saying, learning with Norma, because when I'm here teaching, I am also learning with you. I'm simply here to be myself. I'm simply here to show you that I love myself with all my imperfections, hoping that I can encourage you to show yourself some self-compassion and love yourself with all your imperfections, because they are the ones that make you perfect. They're the ones that make you unique. They are the very reason you are your authentic self. Thokoza Tshego, it was good to be here. It was good to be here. I'm probably going to sleep tonight. I'm gonna sleep, I'll wake up in the morning. Ke a leboga haholo for everybody who showed up. Thank you. I hope this message was relevant and it went and changed something inside of you. As always, before we leave, I encourage that you light a candle, white candle. And for me, lighting of the candle, like I always say, is just a drop pin, your location drop pin to say, I am here. Whether you call it prayer, whether you call it upahla, but be thankful for Spirit to bringing you into this space tonight, because you could have been anywhere else, watching anything else, listening to anything else, but they chose for you to be here to hear this message, and they chose for you to be here to receive healing. Everybody that comes into my space knows that I have nothing. I don't have gold, I don't have silver, but I do know that I've been called to give life. And whatever definition you hold of life, Badimo child, as we exit this live streaming, I hope that you receive life when you wake up tomorrow. Whether life for you is finding a new job, whether life for you is finding your mentor in spirit, whether life for you is finding peace in your relationship with your partner, your parents, your siblings, I say to you, receive life. I've been called. I'm a healer to give life. And tonight, as I say good night, I say receive life and receive it abundantly so. Because if you do, then I've done my part. Ke a leboga ntate motsamai. Ha ebe boroko. Thokozane. Lesedi. Kganya. Thokozane.